that comes for those that do certain things. And they began to ask questions. The youth realized that they have been fooled and deceived by the elders who sat on the same table where my father once sat before he was killed, on the same table. So the point of the story, I know somebody will say, you always like to talk about you. I'm not talking about you. Christ, my Lord, talked all about him and his father. And I'm talking about God and the Father. And I'm using myself as an example, what we call scripted scenario technique, in order to communicate to you something that is going to help you to change and think about how you look at yourself and your relationship with God. I'm not talking about myself because it means anything to you or anybody. Neither am I talking about myself to be boast or make myself bigger than I am. I am only using this example to relate to you what you could do and what you could learn, and make sure you understand what I am saying very well, because these are important things and message from the Lord. But what happened that the youth realized after that they said they were going to do an election and called for election to remove the elders, and the elders did everything to sabotage it by changing the agenda at the meeting. So when they see a lot of young people at the meeting, you will not see it in the agenda for the meeting, because they are the ones that was elected to set the agenda for the meeting. So the youth decided not to show up to the meetings, and like I gave them instruction, don't donate money or give money to the family anymore, because the elders are using the money to maintain their wicked and evil life, and making medicine against you, the youth. And the children complied, the young people complied, and decided to turn around. So when it was time for them, they decided to plan an election, because they know the constitution and the rule says there must be an election after some time. Their time was up. They've been postponing the election to avoid having the election. So the children acted like they are not interested and ignored them. Once they heard from the person planted there that they are planning to have a secret meeting, all the children landed the night before the election and did not show up, did not make any contact, just went to bed. When it was time, they got the signal that the election is about to begin. Everybody came from wherever their house is and assembled in the clan house. And when they came here, so you can't say they cannot vote. They are members of the family, the expanded family, and they voted all the elders out, and that was it. So now they are in power, so they have opportunity now to transform our clan, and I'm watching that to see. So for those that are in Nigeria, remember the prophecy, you want to remove these criminals that you have as your leaders, and then you tell them what you plan to do. They will go and find a way to sabotage it, because they want to retain the power and do whatever they want to do. That's why the last election, the person that won the election was not allowed to get in there. So, but you yourself should be smarter than them with all the technologies and things that you have here, to find a way that unless you get rid of all these people, you're not going to find a way for them to surrender it to you. Think about it yourself. You and many people over there, that's the way you all live. Kill or get killed, steal or get stolen from. And things like this is hustling and living the life of survivor is the way you've been operating. And if you get yourself up there, just like people, that's why I look like I have a sympathy, but he's just doing what every other person has been doing. And with himself as a mastermind, you can imagine what he could do. So you all got to find a way, or your own self, in order to bring a change up there for somebody that is going to be able to effect the kind of change that you need, and you're going to start. You can start from among yourself. Just like in our clan, the youth, they started telling themselves, no, we're not going to agree to this other stuff. We're not going to be doing this. The elders were having hard time. They couldn't be able to get them to support their own agenda and their plan or contribute to it. So they themselves were frustrated. And then once the children and the young people made up their mind to say, we will no longer live like that and we'll never do it, and they saw themselves, that you begin to change the society. And prophesied a long time ago, there must be a community awareness and acquisition before you bring a change from the top. The people from the bottom, the grassroots, must begin among themselves to reject. However they do it, you might start to form social club, not just to be on the media yapping and yapping and yapping. Organize yourself, begin to bring things that will make a change and say, we will not live that way anymore. We will no longer do that, and begin to change the lifestyle of the people so that you can create enough awareness among the people that on that day of the election coming, somebody offer them bribe, they will not take it. They offer them money to go and snatch vote, they will not take it. Or that ask people or group to go and engage in violence, they will not do it. Those leaders are not going to come down to become violent like Layes and Aboros and then go and create a confusion. If the whole people decides, no, we will not do it anymore, you will not use us anymore, they will not be able to do anything about that because they will not be able to execute it by themselves alone. So that is my word for you today, and I encourage you in the same line in this particular message to consider what is going on in the world. I want you to consider this is already something that we have prophesied years ago, that we have seen today. At the time, we did not see and understand the impact and how far it is going, but it has been talked about on a couple of times in our society. I want you to think about your life, in yourself. That's why today, it's not about the demagoguery or trying to condemn any individual today, or talk about much of reading the Bible scriptures. Just look as a rational man, as a logical man, as a reasonable man. Look in your society today and see the worst danger coming your way, more than the one that you have even in your own country or as part of in the bigger picture of the hands. You have to look at the mighty hands from the top bringing upon whoever that is in charge of your life or territory or part of the world. I want to ask you some questions. You might have heard about genetically modified food organisms, living things like meats or animals, fish, plants, the